Hey everyone, Miv here, and welcome back to my Baldur's Gate Saga Completionist playthrough with SCS. And you know what? Now, after all of the adventures of the last 15 episodes, I think it's time to give a little break to our heroes and let them relax, go downstairs and watch a play, and afterwards head off for some well-deserved rest, because that was a pretty productive day one, wouldn't you say?
Pleasure to meet you.
Anyway, apparently this play is just about to take place, so we can pay for the ticket. It's also performed by the Sigil troupe. Apparently it's better better to see than to listen about it. Alright, so here's your 5 gold, and let's see this play then.
Yes, what is it?
Oh, your lover has abandoned thee, sweet Lunesia. You have only one option left. Turnest thou to me, and let us be wed at last.
No, Kirinaldo, I cannot. Oh, Rodrigo, Rodrigo, my fair love, where hast thou gone?
Here I am. Here I am, my, sweetums.
This guy is so good. Especially some of his lines coming up. And by the way, Biv the Understudy, I should probably make a video about this in Baldur's Gate 1. This is a reference to an NPC that would show up, called Biv the Understudy in Baldur's Gate 1. Whenever a vital NPC, like vital to the main storyline, for example, should like show up and deliver some kind of a line, but wouldn't, because they would be dead or because of a bug or something, Biff would show up and basically deliver the line that should happen at certain points in Baldur's Gate 1. So here he is, replacing the actor that normally plays Rodrigo.
Yes, Rodrigo, Rodrigo, it is thee at long last. But where have...
I've been, across the sea, my fair one. Yes, that's it. Across the sea, and,
Oh my god, excuse me for interrupting after every one of his lines, but I just can't help myself.
Say, that's not the actor they had last time.
And perhaps on the new lands, my lord?
yes, that's it. On the new lands. Yes,
Oh my... Oh my god, excuse me, but... Oh my god. Like, the voice itself that he has is just so good, and then the way he delivers his lines. Oh man.
Where's the actor that was here last time? Ugh.
This is terrible, awful. But is it Rodrigo? No, no. How can this be?
well, you should be, so, confused? It is confused, right?
It is baffled, baffled.
Baffled, yes. Well, you should look so baffled, my lord, Kirinaldo. 'Twas you who...
Oh, terrible. Get him off the stage.
who, which that, in a way...
Arranged for me to be shipped across the sea.
What's that?
Yes, you are correct, Rodrigo. 'Twas I that arranged for thy trip across the great ocean. 'Twas, truly fiendish of me, but how did thy ever come to return so quickly?
I forget. I'm just the understudy. Bane, I refuse to watch this.
It's pretty good too. Refuse to watch this.
I agree. Boo! Boo!
Boo!
Boo! Boo, that's awful. Terrible.
Boo!
Oh dear.
I am sorry, good folk of the audience. As you can see, things are not quite right with our troupe due to circumstances beyond our control.
This is a pretty good interjection as well. What is this? Minsk and Boo were just getting into this wonderful story when it was sadly interrupted. A work of mastery, this is.
I beg of you, good people, come back another day when we have restored matters. We shall prove to you then that the Sigil troop is worthy of your attention and coin. And we shall do so for free, of course.
By the way, it's supposed to be pronounced Sigil, dude. Like Haer'Dalis. Haven't you played Planescape Torment?
And one final odd request, good folk. If you or another knows of those who are skilled in the arts of sword and adventure, do send them to speak to me. It is a matter of utmost urgency. Tell them to come and speak to I, Haer'Dalis Shy. Until then, I apologize again and bid you a fair evening.
Well, that wasn't a great piece of entertainment to relax our heroes before before going to rest, but let's investigate what's going on here. So Haer'Dalis there called for some adventurers, and that seems like it could be a job for us. And also, speaking of these like timed quests, this would basically be Aeries' timed quest. If you have Aerie for a while and you know, in your party, she gets approached after a few days by a messenger from Quail, who says that we should visit Quail because apparently he has some kind of an adventuring opportunity or some kind of an issue that we could help him with. And so that's why Aerie would then remind us to like go see Quail, you know, see what's the deal with Quail is. And because of course Quail is a very dear person to her. And apparently Quail is friends with Haer'Dalis. And since Haer'Dalis and the Sigil troop have this this problem here with the missing actor, they of course contacted Quail also, and Quail contacts us. So anyway, we can talk to some of the actors. Yeah, Lunicia here says that without Haer'Dalis as our Rodrigo, there's a little that we can do. And she says, foolish tiefling getting caught as he has. So apparently he's captured, and he is also a tiefling, which in the Forgotten Realms is basically a human with fiendish ancestry. It's not supposed to be a like a half fiend, which is something else, but it's basically some kind of demon or devil ancestry, and that taint still lingering in the blood of a tiefling that had, you know, such a connection, such an ancestor somewhere earlier in the family tree. So here we get some decent scrolls. Well, we also need to rearrange our bags a little bit after the recent adventures. There's also a very small thing here. So here's Biff. Poor guy. He really tried his best.
Yes?
Too far away, huh? Let's just get this done properly here, since we are already in inventory management mode. I guess. Yeah, we are going to get that potion case very soon. That's why we are in the Bridge District, one of the reasons.
Without hesitation.
Yeah, so he says that we should speak to Haer'Dalis, so let's do just that.
Hello. I am afraid if you are looking for a refund for tonight's performance, I can only tell you to come back when our troop is not in such disarray.
Why can't I get a refund? But anyway, we're, of course, because of the call for adventurers. Of course, feel free as always to pause and read for yourself. But yeah, Haer'Dalis, one of their actors, was kidnapped by some kind of a wizard who has made no effort to negotiate with them, with Haer'Dalis. And apparently there's also a gem involved in this whole capture. Also, why she can't contact the local guard is that because they are not from here, they are unfamiliar with our like customs and prime material plane, They come from Sigil, and of course if you've played Planescape Torment, that is the location where most of its events take place. And Sigil is a city in the Outlands connecting many different planes in this universe. And it's also called the City of Doors or the City of Portals because of that. Yeah, and she also says that the wizard could say it is his, the gem, and we could offer no proof to the contrary. And that is because there is no proof to the contrary. There is more to this story than they claim, but of course we will find more about it later. Okay, so the wizard is Mekrath, which is a very similar name to Marketh from Icewind Dale, one of the main villains in Icewind Dale. So we have Mekrath and Marketh. Anyway, so he's in the sewers. You can also stumble upon this quest if you just explore the Temple District sewers, and you know, you can basically just free Haer'Dalis by accident, kind of, or just as a side effect to what you're doing. And from Haer'Dalis you can basically get to know about, you know, this Sigil troop and whatnot. But in that case, first of all, I wanted to do this quest like the proper way, to get the introduction, you know, get all the description of what the quest is about and all that. But also I didn't want us to, of course, miss out on that great play and the amazing performance of Biff. Alright. And now Kirinaldo has a different response. He's happy. Alright, so now I think it's time to rest.
Nothing to it.
After we get this gold.
Will not take long. If it must be done.
And before we rest, we should now rearrange some of our spells.
Don't you point your... Yes, a standard tactic, that.
So let's take a look what we're going to memorize here. We're definitely going to get Find Familiar. I guess 1 spook and like 2 shields. Here, I think I'm going to go like all out mirror images on Senashira. She's going to need those. And level 3. What is kind of the most unique? Because I think Jan should have haste. So I could memorize haste on Senashira as well. But maybe since she's not that effective with those daggers, although she's not too bad either, I might go with some Melf's Minute Meteors so that she can throw some good stuff. Okay, now Jaheira's spells. I'm going to get rid of all that. She's going to be mostly for healing and having like 2 bless spells. Now of course the level 2 selection for Druid is just terrible. I think I'm even going to just leave it as it is. There's just nothing great about it. Barkskin, you know, gets better as she levels up. Now she is level 11 in Druid, so it wouldn't, you know, its duration wouldn't be that short, but it is still, for a protective spell, it is still a short duration. I don't think I'm going to like go for more Barkskins, although probably it is like the most useful out of these spells anyway. I might buff either Senashira or Kirinai with it. And here, as for level 3, I am going to switch this Hold Animal to some summon insects. Maybe we're going to use that. I think I am going to hold on to this 1 Cold Lightning. Although Baldur's Gate 2 is, a lot of the adventures are primarily indoors or like underground in different dungeons and stuff like that. There are still some above ground adventures where we might get to use some Cold Lightning. It's a much more useful spell in Baldur's Gate 1 if you level Jaheira up quickly, because in Baldur's Gate 1 you have all of these wilderness areas that you know, go about exploring, but you know, in Baldur's Gate 2 it's a very different environment in most cases, but it still might be good to have 1 Cold Lightning just in case. Right here I think I'm going to go with a little Defensive Harmony instead of the heal. I probably should go with another Dryad summon, but let's have a little bit more variety. Level 5 is great, and level 6 is great. So in Minsk, it's just like whatever, it doesn't really matter. His Armor of Faith is not going to be too good anyway, so might as well just have Bless or something. Doesn't really matter. Now, Airy. We definitely... oh, you actually have some heals. So use them before we go to rest. also can get this ring to someone else. I'm doing this manually, not, you know, these spells would have been cast on rest automatically because of an option we have enabled, but I'm doing this automatically because I'm going to remove these spells from her selection. So we definitely need some remove fears on her, maybe another sanctuary, and maybe one command. Now here you definitely don't need this, and definitely don't need that, and I think I'm going to go with one more chant and one more hold person. And here level 3 we might get a summon. And maybe one remove a paralysis. It's nice to just have one, just in case, because, well, of course, ideally, we want to be protected against such effects and never get held or paralyzed or stunned in the first place. But these things just happen, you know, sometimes they are unavoidable, sometimes mistakes happen, and it's just good to have like one copy of it memorized just in case. Of course, with Ares, spell selection doesn't really matter all that much because we're going to get rid of her soon. Here we're going to get the AoE protection from evil. I'm not sure, maybe mental domination. It's not that good. It only has a -2 penalty to the saving throw of the target. But what else could we do here? Maybe negative plane protection just in case we run into some vampires when we shouldn't. Or, yeah, because I'm thinking about a certain like graveyard fight, like underneath the graveyard district, but I think we're not going to have Eri anymore in that situation. Well, anyway, that's oh, Jan has one identify spell, so let's identify this short swords. It's Arbane's sword, and the great thing about it is that it provides you with an immunity to hold and paralysis. Of course, also it has this haste, but it's only for 2 rounds, so it's not that great. But yeah, it's an awesome offhand weapon that probably Senashira is going to get once she regains her Kensai abilities and can actually dual wield and use short swords. Alright, so back to your spells. Oh yeah, and of course arcane spells with Eri. Let's get rid of all that. I think Eri is slightly higher mage level. Yeah, 8, and Jan is only 7. So I guess it doesn't really matter. But maybe let's have Eri focus on magic missiles. And level 2, I think I'm going to go with that Stinking Cloud. She had that one more slot because she wore the amulet of Metaspell Influence earlier, so she had one more level 2 slot, but now Senashira has that. Here we might go with another slow. I'm probably going to leave this protection from normal missiles, might come in handy. And although I really don't like abusing like Stone Skin, I think on Eri it makes sense to have double Stone Skin. And now on Jan, we actually might go with some more identifications. Maybe let's have 2 magic missiles on him. Here I think I'm going to go with like more mirror images. This is a decent selection, but I'm going to go with haste instead of the lightning bolt. And here I think I'm going to leave that alone as well. Alright, so now we can go in and have a little rest after all of these adventures.
Hamsters and rangers everywhere, rejoice!
Yes, Minsk.
Hello,
We
me
are all
good
happy.
smiling friends.
Happy with you. Let's treat ourselves to a royal room. And as you can see, Baldur's Gate 2 Enhanced Edition has the classic videos. It doesn't have any like Enhanced Edition versions of any videos.
Yes?
They are all like directly from Baldur's Gate 2, and I think it was easier for them to do because Baldur's Gate 2 had a higher resolution than Baldur's Gate 1. You can also see that when it comes to like jewelry, for example, all of these rings and stuff, they are bigger images because of that. In Baldur's Gate 1 they were pretty small. Okay, now actually let's just identify some stuff with Jan. Let's use these identifications, and with Eri. I'm going to identify this Wand of Fear. It doesn't have many charges, but it's something usable that we can, you know, make use of. And the other identifications, you know, will just serve the purpose of having an item identified so that we can sell it. So here are the composite bows and the sword from Handak. In Baldur's Gate 2 it's not really that useful. You know, in Baldur's Gate 1 it had the very important use in being able to hit Karug, but in Baldur's Gate 2 it doesn't really matter. Anyone with... okay, that's it. And give these bows and stuff back to Kirinai. Alright, and now we can resume our adventures. It's 6 in the morning, so this is perfect. This is not nighttime anymore, although this is, you know, basically just dawn. And that means that a certain merchant, Mrs. Cragmoon, is going to be available on that southwestern end of the Bridge District. She basically has like 3, I think, time slots where she is active, but before resting we were already too late
I'm listening. Speak.
for her. And I really want to get that potion case from her. But actually, now that we are free to just explore, let's go from the beginning of that district, I guess. And you know what? Since we're going that way anyway, let's just trigger this cutscene. It's unfortunate that it's there, but let's just get this over with.
No! Stay back! I've got a knife! I won't go with you!
Like, couldn't they just hire a child voice actor? Like, this is clearly a woman with, like, a slightly modified voice. This is from the Enhanced Edition, by the way. This is where we will see Nira come... oh, I spoiled it. I spoiled the surprise, I guess. Not that it really matters, but...
Come, child. There's no need for this. Your mother is with us. She's waiting for you.
You're lying! My mother isn't with you! She's...
She sent us to fetch you, my dear. Take my hand and you shall see. Warwick, Ellis, watch the sides.
Get away from her, you witch!
What is this?
Hey, you kiddo. I need you to take this and squeeze it real hard, alright?
What's going on? Who are you?
I'm Nira. I'm gonna take you somewhere safe. Just take the talisman, alright?
Is this a trick? Are you trying to hurt me?
Step away from the child, elf. She's ours.
Half elf. And if you don't get out of here, things are gonna get really ugly. As ugly as that witch and her tricks.
Squeeze the talisman. I'll be right behind you.
Get her before...
Yes! I knew you had it in you. Ha! Sorry, witch and witch lackeys. She's safe now.
You didn't think this through, did you?
Not real well. But that's what magic is for.
Another one eludes us.
Why did you hesitate, Warwick? Ellis? You should have grabbed the child before she had a chance to teleport. Also, she didn't have her full line voiced. She actually gave the child her last talisman. So that's why Laneth said that, you know, Nira didn't think this through.
I suppose the fault is as much mine as yours. I was the one who trusted you, after all. Come along.
Right, cool. So now we have that over. Nice. Now you could probably notice that I used the same custom portrait for Nira as I've had in Baldur's Gate 1. There's a fish vendor here that we can actually get some slight clues from. Well, we can ask him a little bit about the guild war between the Shadow Thieves and that new guild and stuff like that, but let's head on inside here first. And now we're going to disarm some traps. There's a certain item that I need from this house.
Speak certainly.
It's upstairs. But we can still get some goodies here. Another wand of magic missiles that we're not going to use.
Yes? Yeah, whatever you want. Without doubt. If you say so.
I think that's all the traps and locks here. This is not a real potion of... Oh no, this is the potion of insulation. I thought for a second it was the fake fake potion of absorption, I think. Anyway, the insulation potions are not that great. Here is the Horn of Valhalla.
Yes?
And
need to clean me. I like to shine.
had to pause for Lillarcore. Anyway, the Horn of Valhalla is a pretty decently useful item early on, because it allows us, it will allow us, actually let's identify it with our glasses of identification. It summons a 5th level warrior once per day, and you can upgrade that twice actually, using the services of Mahir at Wokin's Promenade. He's going to be able to upgrade that twice for us. Once if we bring him a diamond, and the other one if we bring him a Belduril. So if you remember from Durlag's tower level 1, that shining Belduril. Actually, here there is a gnome that has, but I think he appears later. So I need to remember to come here with Jan still in the party, because there's basically like a gnome gigolo dude. And he has a pretty funny conversation with Jan. Now also here, there's going to be some very lesser known encounters that I wanted to showcase, because I don't think many people at all know about this guy and the encounter down here. And they are pretty cool. Here we have Steven. Apparently Hans seagulls, and Eri has something to say about it. Wrong. The demons have carried off 3 of my brothers, they have. They are a plague upon us sent by the gods, and I spit upon you, gods. I think he has a... Oh yeah, this one. You hear me, gods? I spit upon you for your cursed seagulls. Alright, and now I'm just going to teleport our guys back to the 5 flagons here. And if we go down to this dock... Like, normally there's no real reason to come here. There's nothing significant to get here. But a pretty cool event.
Work faster, you useless dogs! Faster, I say! We shall never have the ships loaded on time if you continue to be so lazy!
Don't be sick. Sick? He must slow, master.
Never! I'll not lose a commission because of you damnable ogres! Work faster, I say!
Gotta love this dude.
You know nice. We ogres no work.
Yes, we no work for you if you so mean. Don't force me to get the whip out, you moronic twits. Yeah, these poor creatures. The ogres. Alright, so I'm going to... Oh. Okay, whew. Managed to get that quick save off, because there are 2 outcomes here. We can either help him and kill the ogres, or we can let the ogres kill him. And first I'm going to do the outcome that I don't want to keep, which is helping this guy. Let's try and get these ogres before they kill him, but I think... Okay, they stopped attacking him.
If it must be done. Speak.
Of course, Jahira is far away. Eri
Yes?
should equip a different weapon. Should learn from her mistakes. Alright, so of course we get the experience for killing the ogres, and then 6,500 for helping him. And so this is a way better outcome, I guess, in terms of experience, because we get this, you know, basically 7,000 in total. But let's actually quick load. Let's actually just watch the ogres deal with Quedil. Boom. Ah, they're missing, and now he's going to be running.
Our stay had best be a short one.
Boom.
Yes, sir.
And we can get the 200 gold anyway from his corpse. We just miss out on all of the experience. But that's okay. I think this is a more satisfying outcome. Okay. Now I think we're going to do the whole murder investigation in the next episode. But in this one, still, we can do some stuff. We can check out this Temple of Helm. Has the Baldur's Gate 1 interior. Very nice. And he has, you know, a slightly different selection, including that Potion of Clarity, which I think I might get already, just to have it in my inventory.
Yes.
And there's nothing too special about this temple.
Without hesitation.
It's just nice that it's available while you're in this district and you need some clerical services. Now here there's going to be another scene with some familiar characters.
You shall never have her, you ridiculous fool.
No, it is you that shall never have her. She loves me.
No, she loves me. Me!
Boys, don't fight over me, please.
What an excellent idea! We shall fight over our beloved Bubbles. And of course, Carboss and Shank, if you don't remember, and they are not very memorable when it comes to their names, but these are the two assassins that tried to kill us in Candlekeep at the very, very beginning of our whole Saga playthrough. In these two houses, in one we would be approached by Shank, and in the other by Carboss. And of course we killed both of them, and we even met that lady in Baldur's Gate City, talking about them. But apparently they managed to either don't care about the time continuum here in our playthrough, or just managed to get themselves resurrected somehow. So, and they're going to duke it out. Apparently Shank won. But Bubbles is not satisfied with that outcome. You splattered blood on my dress, you ignorant dolt. But Bubbles, but I love you, my chicken pot pie. Come back. And they just leave.
What is it? This
Or he
will not take long.
should be leaving. Yes. And they're going to disappear in a second.
Speak.
Anyway. Here, at a later point in the day, there's also I think a lesser known merchant with scrolls, very, very good scrolls, including improved haste. He's just called Cutpurse. So, not that, I guess not that unique at a glance.
Yes.
But he's going to be here later. We're going to steal from him at some later point. We're also going to steal from Mrs. Cragmoon at some later point, but for now we can just buy this potion case from her. And normally she doesn't have a potion case. This is a part of the component from BG2 Tweaks that adds 2 more potion cases to the game. Normally the only potion case in the whole game, in the whole Shadows of Amn portion, is in Watcher's Keep. We would have to go to Watcher's Keep, make a quick trip there, and the merchant in there has a potion case. But the BG2 Tweaks component adds 2 more. One to Mrs. Cragmoon, a very kind of prominent potion vendor, and another potion case to Roger Defense in the Temple District sewers, which is an amazing potion vendor. And I like that more because, you know, it's not really a big deal to just go to Watcher's Keep and buy yourself a potion case there, but I like having more than one so that we can nicely organize our potions. But now, of course, we only have one so far, so I'm not going to organize anything yet. But we can just... oh yes, we can now have a much better situation. in our bags because of that. What else can we put there? This, and this, and this. This potion is going to stay in Jaheira's inventory because she's going to use it pretty soon, I think. And this is something that Kira and I can hold on to. Although it's probably better in the potion case. Alright, and that's it for now.
What is it?
Here, this building has a special use, and you know what? I think I might have already disarmed the trap on here. Or, I think it's not a trap, it's just a locked door, yeah. We can already unlock that. And I think there's some nobles to talk to. But perhaps they are in a different time of day, I think. There's a pair of nobles here. Sometime later. Alright, so I'm going to teleport us to the start of the district, basically when we enter. And then in the next episode we are going to begin our investigation of these local murders that Lieutenant Aegisfield mentioned to us. And we're just going to position ourselves near Old Rampa, and he is going to be the start of our investigation. We're going to question him. Anyway, that's going to be it for this a little bit more relaxed episode. I hope you enjoyed it anyway, and I'll see you in the next one.